Hey y'all. Welcome to another edition of Anjanette Speaks, the real, the raw, and the inspiring. Now I'm just gonna be transparent. I am pre-recording. I am in the middle of doing so many things, but let me just encourage those of you that are content creators that are trying to start as much as you can be consistent. If you gotta pre-record, if you gotta move around, whatever you have to do to make sure that the show goes on, put the show on, okay? People are out there waiting. Thank you for everyone that listens to Internet Speaks. I am so delighted that you tuned in to me on this Saturday afternoon. Hey, y'all, hey. What's going on? I hope your Saturday is going well. I am excited about today's topic. Baby, we talking about trust issues. I don't know about y'all, but I got a whole lot of trust issues with a whole lot of things. And I've learned that even though I do have those trust issues and I do have, I am working on it, right? Because when you start to heal, there are just things that you just can't say. And mistrusting people and not being able to feel like you can't trust people. Here's the thing. You feel like you can trust somebody or that person or people around you, it's not you can do it. Because everybody is not out to you. But you have been broken, you have been hurt, and you have been betrayed. That is definitely, and over time, that is definitely the impression and rightfully so. So I want to encourage you to know all the things that you feel that I'm not going to I don't feeling like you can't trust anybody or feeling like you were betrayed, right? So I'm gonna tell y'all the story. When I was little, my mom and I used to live in these apartments, and I met these girls, and they were from Alabama, and we were friends for the summer. Well, they were cousins, and we were all three hanging out every day. So they would come get me, go to the pool, all that, and it was fun. So then we would go outside and walk to the store and do all that stuff that girls do. Well, one day the cousins fell out, and one of them came to my house without the other one, and she wanted to talk to me about the other cousin. And I listened to what she said, but I didn't make a comment. Not because at that age I was just wise enough not to make a comment. I just didn't really understand what was going on at the time. So The next day, nobody comes to get me to go to the pool. I'm cool with it. So I go to the pool myself. Maybe they forgot. Maybe they got busy, whatever. So I go to the pool. Well, the other cousin that was getting talked about wants to fight, wants to get into an argument. I'm like, what is going on? So I'm like, what are you talking about? So the one that came to me went and told her that I said all this stuff about her that she actually said. That was the first time that I remember thinking to myself, I can't trust anyone. Now, there has been other times that adults in my life that was supposed to be responsible, was supposed to be protecting, you know, things happen, being molested, being inappropriately touched, that made me not trust older men, right? So that was another thing. And then now I don't trust friends. So in my mind, I was like, I'm good. I have my little one friend that I have forever. We still friends, and I was good because at that time I was like, wow, I didn't even understand what was going on and what that impression left on me as a 10-year-old kid. Right, that impression that stuck with me. Don't trust no females. And I used to always blame it on my parent-child relationship, but when I started to really write down my notes and started to think around this topic, I was like, the first time I really felt betrayed was that time, you know, when at the pool, that was the first time I was like, hey, you know, because I'm trusting that she's coming to me, confiding in me as a friend. I'm not talking about this girl. And this girl is ready to argue, ready to fight. And I don't know what she's talking about. Like, I am totally lost. So, when was the first time? You don't have to tell me the exact time. You can say parent child, you can say co-worker, friend, whatever. But remember that time shaped in your mind. You can't trust nobody. Or that time shaped, I can't trust these kind of people. I can't trust my mama. I can't trust people, women. I can't trust men if it was daddy. I can't trust kids. I can't trust whoever, right? And if no one has broken your trust, praise the Lord. Pray you got some stand-up people in your life. However, so there are things that we need to do um, in order for us to identify where those trust issues come from and what we need to do to heal from them so that we can trust again. So the first thing is, and also a lot of people, because of their experiences and the things that happen to them, they don't trust God. If you believe in God, because I don't know who I'm, talking to, but I personally believe in God. So I had a real big issue with trusting God. Now, I'm not going to say trusting God through all of the other stuff, but I think when it got to 2005 and my daughter passed away, April 13th, 2005, that changed my life. I love my children. And it's like she's here today. It's like she ain't never passed away. But I had her stillborn. And I blame God for that my baby didn't live. And I didn't want to preach, didn't want to talk about him. I didn't do anything for 7 years. Probably more than that, because from 2005 to 2013, 8 years. I didn't want to preach. I didn't hardly want to pray. I didn't want to do nothing that had anything can do concerning God. I don't know if you've ever been there where everything in your life was not lining up. I was a minister. I had two babies out of wedlock before I became a minister. I had my baby. I was pregnant with my husband's child, and I felt dignified. I felt accepted, right? I felt unashamed. I was proud. And my baby passed away. And baby, in my immaturity, I blame God for a long time. And it changed the trajectory of my life. And it changed how I saw ministry. And it changed how I minister, right? Because I was alone for years, grieving my daughter for years. Years. I just cried, yesterday morning, because my daughter texted me and said, what day in April was it? Every April we go through the same thing. She crying, I'm crying, everybody crying. Now this year, I think it's probably the first or second year, and it happens sometimes, that I didn't think about it. April 13th and on came last year. I didn't even think about it. But this time is usually the time that depression hits me really hard. And so I said that to say, I'm getting on a tangent. I didn't trust God. And I understand, because when things happen to you and we say that God has our best interest at heart, then why does he allow these things to happen? And I just want to submit to you that life does happen. People get divorced, right? Babies die. You get raped. It's not a fact of life, but things do happen. Bad things happen to good people. Good things happen to bad people. That is the world we live in. And once we accept that and we know that everything works together for the good of those that love the Lord and are called to his purpose. So whatever happens to you in your life, please understand that God is going to use it and he's going to get the glory for it, because look at me right now, okay? It'll be in a time that in my life, several years ago, I would not be able to talk about my daughter without crying, okay? But that's not the case right now. So amen. All right. So now let's talk about how these things that happen to us in life then shapes us not being able to trust people. And then when new people come into our life, I don't trust them. So transparent, because that's how I am. So I do things to see if I can trust people with my uncertainty, right? I may be uncertain about a situation and I may reach out or, expose that I'm uncertain. Whether that's just bringing up a conversation or whether I'm, asking of opinion about something. When I feel worse in the conversation, right? So I reach out and I feel worse than I did when I started. I know that's not the person to talk to. And that's okay, right? That's okay. What we have to be okay with is every friend is not a person that you have to share and bare your soul with, right? That's not who that person is to you. And that's okay, right? That's fine. But you have to find someone that you trust with your heart and with the things that plague your heart so that you can start to heal. So, trust being the foundation, then we want to trace your history of mistrust. And this is something that people call shadow work. In the Christian world, we call it deliverance. But you can do this on your own. You can go and look at your areas of mistrust. And you can start to heal those areas. If you were the person that betrayed someone, if they don't talk to you anymore, or you don't know where they're at, whatever, you need to write a letter to yourself and you need to take responsibility for what you did. And you need to ask that person to forgive you. And you need to take full accountability. What this does is it frees you, right? And then whatever, if you stole some money, stole a credit card, cheated on somebody, whatever that is in you can start to heal. So you don't have to do that to anyone else. We have got to be responsible for what we do to other people. Going back to friendships, I'm kind of person, I'm going to allow you to be whatever friend you are. And I have friends that I can tell my deepest, darkest secrets to. And I have friends that I wouldn't dare tell a deep, dark secret to. And they are still my friends because they serve a purpose in my life, or we serve a purpose to each other. Some of my friends, we can talk about anything, right? Some we can only talk about certain things. And then sometimes, when you're trying to go on a journey of trust, you have to find out who you can trust. And for those friends and associates that you can't trust, put them in a category, man. Put them in a category. What do y'all think about what I'm saying? Put them in a category like, this is my friend I go shopping with, my associate, close associate. This is my friend that I can bear all. Not that they agree with me, but that I can be vulnerable with and tell my innermost secrets. However, getting to that point to be able to do that, see, it's really big. If I open up to you, that's huge. And if I can't, I'm not ever going to. And I tend to maybe forget, right? But I'm quickly reminded, right? This you can't discuss. This is okay and this is okay. And I'm a work in progress, right? So I'm not gonna say that, there's absolutes out there that say, okay, well, if you can't trust these people, then you don't be around them. And it's not so much that, but you can't trust people with all your information, with all of your secrets and all of your decision making and everything. You can't just be telling everybody everything. You need to pray about stuff. And if God said, this is what you're going to do, you do it, right? And then you don't need agreeing partners and people to agree with you or disagree with you. It is what it is, right? And for you to, if you're anything like me, and I hope I'm making sense, but if you're anything like me, um, opening up to someone is like getting naked because I don't trust easily, right? And so for me to be like telling you that I'm feeling bad or telling it's huge. I'm not open like that. I'm not, oh, well, this is going on in my life. I struggle. The reason why I made God made me do Anjanette Speaks because I needed to talk about things. I'm just not an open person. And I say that to say that when I open up to someone, that means that I trust them. But if they remind me or show me that I can't trust them, then it's not their fault, right? I need to adjust myself if I'm in this friendship, right? And we have fun or, can talk about any other thing, but these certain things, matters of the heart, I don't talk about, right? Or don't disclose in any way. And I do have people like that. I have people that I talk to all the time. They know nothing about my love life. I have people that know about my love life. I have people that I won't discuss it with. It just is what it is, right? And so you have to find your way to get around these trust issues in order to pull out and be in healthy relationships. Um, is a friendship that you cannot be your full whole self a healthy relationship? Probably not. But there are friends and close friends that are close associates, right? That y'all have a close friendship with and yada yada, and you can be friends and go out and do all this stuff and have fun. But when it comes to something, a real deeper issue, you probably don't need to go to that person. It's probably someone else, a confidant. But in order to get even there, you've got to deal with those issues that you have when it comes to trust. So writing down when you first recall being betrayed, how that made you feel, how uncertain you were. Man, when I did this, I was like, I got issues I need to work on. Here's the thing. Do you know I realized I didn't trust God? all. Like it may be a teensy, a teensy weensy bit like this, like that. So imagine, I don't, cause okay, this is Sense Ministry. You got it? Sense Ministry. This was in 2005, wasn't nothing. Y'all see my hand? I'm really trying, y'all. Look, okay, I probably trusted God like that. Big old God. Trusted him like that. Cause I was like, I got it. Cause child, you be done messed it up, honey. Cause the way life is going, I got it, God. Thank you. I appreciate you waking me up this morning and not killing no more of my children. That used to be my prayer. Thank you for that. Very like rebellious and crazy. And I still like that sometimes. I didn't trust God. And do you know that if we don't trust God, we have trouble trusting in every other area of our life? I didn't trust people at work. I didn't trust church folks. I didn't trust nobody, no friends. I didn't trust boyfriends. I didn't trust nobody. Can you imagine living like that? And I'm talking recently working on this, like in the last year, working on those things that are keeping me from having healthy relationships. Forgiveness is a whole nother topic. But you not being able to watch this. Ooh, that just hit me. I didn't trust myself. I didn't trust myself because I kept picking the same dude with a different social security number. Like, what is going on? The same. I'm the common denominator. I'm definitely understanding that. Okay. But like, this dude is not the same dude. And this dude is the same dude with a different social security or those same traits. Guess what? Something going on with me. And that's what we don't understand. Like, we are responsible. Take dominion. I always say that. Take dominion. Take control of this. Don't let life control you. You control it. Right? And you determine what you're going to put out in the universe and what comes back. Because why? Because I'm working on myself. I'm healing. I'm getting closer to God, my higher power, whatever you want to call it, chakras, whatever. The kids always talk about. I always say this. The kids say the chakras. Get your chakras together. Listen, the kids, they don't lit candles, whatever. Because healing and being in a place of self-care and understanding who you are as a person and being able to trust yourself, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. When I started trusting God, I then started trusting myself. And when I started trusting myself, I stopped asking permission from other folk to be me. How about that? I stopped getting on the phone, girl. I was thinking about, doing this and that, or girl, and kind of wanting someone to say, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Yeah, I like that idea. Yeah, you should do that. It became, hey, I have my sister friend. She's a graphic designer. Shout out to Media, Manifest Media 210. That is on Facebook. Manifest Media 210. So, I need a flyer for this. I need this. But there was no, what do you think about this? And how do you think I should do that? And blah, blah, because I trust myself. I trust God. I did shadow work, deliverance, whatever, right? And I wrote down things. I talked about trust in my diary, in my journal, and when I stopped trusting, and how I needed to try to trust again. Now, how I started trusting again is I removed some people out of my life that I couldn't trust, and that made me remember that I couldn't trust them. And then I took a chance and trusted people that betrayed me because I needed to trust God in those people that He would protect me. Now, is getting hurt and getting betrayed and, people being human a part of life? Yes. And that's where your mindset changes. When I started to do the shadow work and when I started to write down and talk to myself about things that I allowed, things that I didn't, trust myself or just didn't flat out know. I allowed myself to start trusting me and trusting God. Now, am I easy to get next to? No. I would be lying to y'all if I said, "Oh, and I trust everybody and I don't have no trust issues." No. I got them cuz I don't trust easily. Okay? Are you not going to get next to me? I don't mm-mm, mm-mm. And with this and what's in here? Mm-mm. Some people know I'm an overthinker. Some people know that I'm a historian. I love history. Some people know how deep I am in biblical history. Some people don't. It depends on what you can handle. Because I learned how to guard me quickly. Shadow work helped me. So y'all look that up. I don't know if y'all, believe in that or whatever, but I definitely got delivered just writing things down that showed me that I had trust issues. Now, I did make a couple of notes, ways to help you with your trust issues. And we talked about, trusting yourself, learning to trust yourself, making those decisions and trusting God. The next thing is getting people out of your life that you don't trust, but allowing yourself to forgive. And forgiveness is a process, y'all. So, I'm not going to preach to you about forgiveness today. But forgiveness is a process. But in order for you to start to trust yourself, you got to stop beating up on yourself about, why you let this happen and blah, 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 this and that. Okay, it happened. It hurt. And now you going through the process of healing that scar and that wound. I am all about freedom. If you need to allow yourself to trust the next friend that you meet, the next woman, the next man, the next pastor, allow yourself to trust. And if that person does you wrong or does wrong or is a human, allow yourself to trust God enough that he'll take care of it, or the universe. You ain't got nothing to do with that. So, transparent moment. I had a really bad habit of going through my ex's phone, right? And every time I went through the phone, there was something there. Of course, I'm looking for it. Why do we do that? I don't know. Y'all, men, comment at the bottom. Women, comment at the bottom. But it's something about y'all's changing your, like the way y'all change y'all's behavior. Like it's so pronounced, right? Like y'all start hiding the phone and putting it face down, like doing stuff that's so obvious. And so I had to say to myself, why do you keep doing that? Why? Why do you keep hurting yourself? You know it's there. You know it, and it's nothing, right? But it's something. If you know what I'm saying. So it's not like he's in love with anybody else or anything like that, right? It's more of this flirting and this thing y'all do, And it was like it was a lot of that, like throughout, right? And I'm like, why do you keep doing that? And then I got to the place where I'm like, well, shoot, if he flirting, I'm flirting too. And da, 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 da. And so then I'm allowing this situation to bring me out of my character. So now I'm out here bopping. I had a really bad habit of going through that man's phone. Because you can't change no password on me. I am a certified CIA agent. But listen, I stopped hurting myself, man. Listen, whatever you got going on, that's on you. Because once I started trusting God, whatever, it's going to come to the light. I ain't got to look for it. And then guess what? I trust myself now. So when I make the decision to go, to stay, to whatever, it's my decision. And I can stand on my decision because I trust me. And I don't have to have nobody's approval. See how that works? If you want to go through your man's phone or your woman's phone, don't hurt yourself. Don't do that. There's a book in the Apocrypha that is called Ecclesiasticus. And there's I don't remember the scripture. I'll look it up and give it to you guys later. But it says, don't go looking for bad things. If you mistrust someone or if someone is acting like deceitful, don't go looking for it. Let God deal with it. The problem is we don't trust that God's going to deal with it. We think we got to deal with it ourselves, and we don't. What people put out in the universe will come back. What people put out in the universe will come back. So we talked about how to deal with trust issues, trusting yourself, trusting others, and giving yourself that time to heal. So we talked about, I'm going to backtrack just for a second, the shadow work. And then we talked about just trying to trust somebody again, just like, trusting yourself and, starting to trust God and then trying to lend that trust to someone else just to get that. And then forgiveness. And then another thing, I was saying something. I lost my train of thought. Another thing that I had it written down. The one thing that I wanted to, let's see, shadow work, trusting you. I can't read my writing, y'all. And trusting others. Okay. So I forgot. I don't remember, and I can't read my writing. So shadow work, trusting God, trusting yourself, and lending your trust to others. Oh, and forgiving. I think that's good stuff. I mean, it's not as exciting as the relationship stuff, but I think that's good stuff. Now, there's a ton of books on Amazon about trust and trust issues and attachment styles and all this other stuff, and I suggest you go read it. I haven't read a book on trust issues or whatever, but I have read a couple of commentaries about it, and it is one of the main things that people get break up for or leave a job for or don't trust pastors. Man, we could talk about all this stuff all day. The fact of the matter is we have got to take responsibility on our end for our own issues. And with God, through prayer, you can and will heal and be able to trust. Because I'm telling you, not having to go through someone's phone is awesome. Not feeling like you have to go through someone's phone is awesome. Because during my journey, I was dating and I had no inkling to go through his phone ever. Even when it rang and the woman's name was on the phone. I mean, come on, we older, right? So we got people we know. And then things came out. Ain't got nothing to do with me. I trust my decision to leave you alone. Don't put you can't handle that position. So you don't get that position. You can't be trusted. It works. It works if you work it. It works if you work it. I hope that this has made you think once again, um, made you challenge yourself to do the things that I suggested, you do, um, which is the shadow work, with the children say, get your chakras together. And it's prayer. It's right. Get a journal and start journaling these things and writing down things that you guys remember about um, when you first came across mistrust, betrayal. And once you start writing and talking about how you felt about that and identifying, how you moved after that, you can retrace your steps and kind of reverse that action. Because all of us are a little toxic. All of us are. And I'm just pausing because usually I'm just blah, 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 blah. But this is a really this is heavy. This is heavy. And I want you guys, because we want to get married for us single folk, right? And these are some of the things that we gotta take care of now, so that we won't have those issues later. At least we won't go in the relationship with trust issues, because that from the past, because we've dealt with them. Right? I've been on here 37 minutes and I am got so much to do. I gotta present tomorrow, and so that's why I did this tonight, to be consistent. I want to make sure that you guys understand how important Internet Speaks is to me. For the people that watch me, the people that reach out and want to know what we're talking about on Saturday so they can comment, the inboxes, the Facebook messages, the YouTube messages, people from YouTube finding me on Facebook. Y'all, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so glad that the things that God just drops in my spirit, he just talk about trust issues. I don't be knowing what I'm talking about. I just be riding down the street and he'd be like, say this, talk about this, look up this. And so I'm going with it, because guess what? I learned to trust God. No matter what, man. I done been through hell and high water. I done been through hell. Since the pandemic was a blessing and it was a curse, but I was in the cave. I was in sin and just in a horrible relationship, and just whoo, Jesus. It was a lot. And we made it through some stuff, working through things, but at the time nobody had tools. You got to have some tools, right? To work through some stuff. You just can't be out here just working through stuff. And nobody's perfect. You still working through stuff. But it's the way you work through it, right? And how you trust yourself enough to say, you know what? Okay. And nobody else's opinion matters. Nobody else, is in it. It's you and whoever else you're trying to rebuild trust with. That's what I was gonna say. See, this only happens on Internet Speaks. No, I'm playing. Rebuilding trust with someone, right? So when you're rebuilding trust, transparency is a must. That's what I was gonna say. Transparency is a must. You have got to be transparent when you're trying to get somebody to trust you again. Admitting when you're wrong and being transparent. Working on that. And then as the person that was betrayed, you got to take people's word for face value. Face value. And like I said, don't go looking. Because if that person is transparent and you can start working on your goals, for to trust them, then it's a better situation all the way around. And when you're repairing trust, it's you have to literally start over again. And, hey, this is so and so, I messed up. So now I have to fix it, right? And so you have to be transparent. You have to be open. You have to do the things, all that hiding and sneaking and creeping and deleting. You can't do that no more. You have to be transparent. You have to be trustworthy. I know I'm sure y'all got a whole lot to say about this, but comment down below. Thank you for your time today. Thank you for your time. This Saturday afternoon, you could be doing anything else, but you came to listen to Anjanette Speaks. Today has been a crazy day, but I'm here, you're here, and we are healing together. This has been another edition of Anjanette Speaks, the real, the raw, and the inspiring. Okay, so catch me next. So we're going to change our time. I will put out a flyer and probably do a video about the time change. I'm looking to see, Saturdays is just not a good day for our views. And so my understanding is that we can do more exposure during the week. So I'm going to pick a day and we're going to go with it. Look for the flyer and look for the time change. Until then, I will see you next Saturday at 2 Central Standard Time. And what is that? 12 Pacific and 3 Eastern. I think I got that right. Y'all have an amazing Saturday. Thank you for watching Anjanette Speaks, the real, the raw, and the inspiring.